our meeting to discuss their dissatisfaction with their ward councillor Khumong Pasha. It follows a protest earlier by that community where they barricaded roads demanding Pasha's resignation. They're demanding proper roads, employment on local projects and RDP houses. Meanwhile, some shops belonging to foreign nationals in Mahikeng in the CBD were closed by the protesters this morning. A group calling themselves Mahikeng Hawkers Association say they're continuing the fight against drug peddling and prostitution in the area. So for the latest there, we now cross to our reporter Olebogeng Kgosilentswe in Mahikeng in the North West. Olebogeng, good evening. I mean, it's been quite a time of it in Mahikeng in the North West in recent days. What's this latest protest about?
Good evening, Bongani, and welcome to a rather quiet Mahikeng. We understand from the Provincial Joint Operations and Intelligence Department that there's been quite a few sporadic incidents here and there, but they've managed to calm them down. But generally, the protests in Seweding, in Mahokwe and in Muntiwa were service delivery related protests where, in the case of Seweding, as you've just alluded, they are unhappy and very dissatisfied with the local ward councillor there, and saying that he is not to be trusted, he is corrupt, they don't know how he does projects, the community is not included in dealings that have anything to do with their ward or processes and procedures in that particular ward. It's been quite quiet, I must say. The meeting that you spoke about, Bongani, did not materialize. We had been camping there since 4 p.m. this afternoon, waiting on the masses to gather. As they eagerly called us and notified us this morning that they would be gathering to talk about these problems that they're experiencing with their councillor and to forge a way forward, really, as they were complaining that they did not see any joy from the municipality or from any government structures. But as we speak right now, the meeting did not take place, and police are certain that it will be relatively calm and crime-free, as there's a lot of police and security dispatched throughout Mahikeng. Bongani?
Olebogeng, I mean, I suppose it's not directly related to the bigger issues in the Northwest Province, as we've seen in recent days with the resignation or non-resignation of the Premier Supra Mahumapelo, but it is in a sense a microcosm of the dissatisfaction on the ground in the Northwest in terms of the service delivery issues and what residents are feeling is a lack of delivery by the provincial government.
Absolutely. It's been boiling for months now in the Northwest Province. I mean, this is, I could say that this is dust that has been swept under the carpet, coming now to the brim and coming now to the top. And at the top of it all, we know that the community has been saying that they are very dissatisfied with the management and the administration of Premier Supra Mahumapelo, and that's why we've seen protests across the entire Northwest Province. But of course, we know that the Premier is on leave right now and has appointed a new acting Premier for the time being that he will be on leave, and we understand, Bongani, that time has not yet been set, so we will just have to play it by ear and see how the new acting Premier Wendy Nelson takes into office. Bongani?
Of course, Wendy Nelson is the finance MEC. What has the reaction on the ground been to the announcement that was made late last night that she is the acting premier indefinitely, as you say? What explanations have been given in terms of, I don't know, constitutional provisions that might have been used to give this effect? Well, of course, we've been talking to a few political analysts, Bongani, and they're telling us that it was, in fact, unprocedural for the Premier to be on leave. But from the people on the ground, it's quite a lot of dissatisfaction, particularly on our SABC News Northwest social media pages, where people are voicing out the fact that if Premier Supra Mahumapelo is the chairperson of the ANC in the province, then obviously he is the leader of the PEC, and therefore it cannot be said that it was
the decision of the PEC to put him on special leave, but that it is in fact his own doing. So it's just people saying that they are tired of this chameleon-like behavior of the Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo, and that they want President Cyril Ramaphosa to come down to Mahikeng. You remember that he did come down to Mahikeng when the protest was starting in the province, and people were still unsatisfied with what he had to say. People felt that he said very little regarding the governance and the whole issue around Premier Supra Mahumapelo. In fact, in his speech, he did not even mention the name Premier Supra Mahumapelo. So it's quite a lot of unhappiness on the streets of Mahikeng. People voicing out their unhappiness and their anger that Premier Supra Mahumapelo is playing games or playing mind games with them, Bongani. So, you know, we are yet to see if how they will react to the news of this acting premier now, because we tried today to contact her office. She has not addressed any media or any gathering at all ever since her appointment yesterday. In our efforts to try and speak to her, to get to know her, to get to understand what her plans are in taking the province forward, you know, we couldn't get that, but her office did say that she would not be responding to the media this week. So we're expecting that perhaps next week, perhaps on Monday, we will pick up that conversation again and to really try to get to know our new acting premier, to know who she is and the strategies that she will put in place to move the province forward, or to sort of get calm, restore calm back into the province. Bongani?
Well, that very much depends on whether or not she'll still be acting premier in the coming days. We'll see how all of that develops. That's, of course, our Olebogeng Kgosilentswe in Mahikeng in the Northwest. High drama indeed. Well, stay with us.